Yesterday I was outside and my pickle and balls were out. I mean, I was playing pickleball and I was like, literally.
I got scared for a second. I was like, I hope no one saw you.
Oh, just the the whole elderly group that was out there.
Yeah, just the whole, like, I'm sure Ellen was there, the co-captain.
I know.
She
told me that my pickle was out. I said, oh, sorry, that's not how you play.
No, that's the trophy.
That's the trophy.
This is Jamie.
And this is Vic.
And this is like...
literally.
A podcast where we talk about... literally like anything.
Anybody who have no riz and can't communicate properly to other people.
Yeah.
That's what we cover. That's our specialty.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we have to cover the expert of riz, which is Gerry Turner.
Yeah, I think he's covering us.
Yeah, he's covering us. That's a better way to put it.
We're just the students.
We are
watching the master at work.
We are learning. I took so many notes, and not just for what to talk about, but also just personal notes of like, oh, I can use this. I have like a full like booklet at this point of like riz tips.
Featuring Gerry.
Yeah. You can find us if you care to listen or watch or however you consume your
please watch this
content.
Audio.
Yeah, please watch this audio. We have faces made for radio. Check us out on YouTube, like a literally one word.
Or Spotify.
Like a literally three words for everything else, including
Pandora.
MySpace. Google Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
Gmail
Podcast. Hotmail Podcast.
AOL. Fax. You can read the manuscript for the entire podcast. Should we start with Gerry again, or do you want to switch it up? Do you want to start with Bachelor in Bachelor in Paradise?
I do like that. We should do that.
You want to switch it? Okay. Let's end on a high note this time. So we got starting with the shit. I mean, actually, starting with that again.
Literal shit. Well, no shit, actually.
Yeah, none of that. It did come to a sad end, which was Sam did have to leave. Mm-hmm. And we even find out later on in the episode with an update of like, she's still not okay.
Do not worry, guys. She is not okay.
She is not okay. Don't worry. I don't know. I don't have much to say about that. Do you?
No.
Okay, perfect. Well, what
I'm not into toilet humor.
Yeah, no.
It is sad to have someone like leave.
It's a
pretty good relationship, at least as we saw.
As we didn't see. Yeah.
As we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see much of her and Aaron S., but I don't know. I have such weird feelings about Aaron S., and I know like nothing about Sam, so it's just like it was hard to care a whole lot about them or their situation.
Especially since they barely got any screen time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I don't know. It was such a weird storyline too. It's like, all right, get this shit out of my face. Get me to the good stuff. What did you think about John Henry's arrival? To me, it felt like, I was watching myself walk down.
It's like, why is he acting exactly like I would if I was on the show?
This is just like a better looking version of me, like walking down. Like, why is he like? He was literally shaking.
I know. Yeah, his hands. He was having trouble getting the letter open.
I'm no like expert here, or like I'm no Gerry, but I feel like I could go down there with at least a little bit of like, not literally pissing my pants.
I'd probably only throw up once.
Yeah, I'd only need like, one barf bucket probably. I don't know. I feel like it was pretty extreme. He seemed like legitimately like
mortified.
And I felt bad for him because it was literally it was the only thing that people were saying about him. It's like, oh my gosh, he's so nervous. I mean, they were saying like, oh, he's so hot. But it's like, oh my God, he's like, he's shaking. Oh my God. And it's like, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. I would be like, it's probably just making it worse. But who did he talk to? He talked to Kat.
Classic Kat.
Yeah. Okay. He talked to Kylie, who said that she's sort of locked in. And then he talked to Olivia. And he ends up asking Olivia, but Olivia feeling done wrong, from the first episode by Will, where he didn't talk to her before he went on the date with Kylie. She's like, I got to make sure I talk to, what's his face? FP.
Our boy Peter, that we've seen so much of.
Yeah.
And love.
I really found it actually amusing when he was like saying, we've been such like a strong connection. We've been spending so much time together. I was just like, oh, really? I forgot that you're here, honestly.
Yeah, I even forgot you were with Olivia. I thought you were just like by yourself.
Yeah,
You're with the boys.
And I'm in a place where I've come back around on Olivia a little bit, sort of just now that there's some distance with that like first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so
definitely. She's gotten better.
Yeah, she's gotten better. Or I'm just not really thinking about it anymore. But I appreciated that she talked to Peter.
That was a good move.
He said like, oh, we haven't even like kissed or whatever. And
just
like
hold hands.
Getting to that later on, I've got a lot to say about that when they do finally kiss. But
it's a difficult moment.
Oh my God. But let's first cover date with John Henry.
At the massage.
Yeah, it's like a couple's massage. They immediately break the massage bed, which is just like
after Olivia like jumps on it.
Yeah, jump on it. Make this guy feel more nervous and awkward than he probably already is.
Terrify him.
He is. Yeah. No, I mean that was very funny. But I felt like aside from that, I actually did like their date. I felt like it was cute. I don't know. It was sweet. They were like making each other laugh. I like it. I honestly liked it when he broke out the underwater, the helmet
welder's
thing.
Mask underwater.
Oh yeah, that was pretty epic.
That was pretty sick. Started doing like the Darth Vader noises.
I wonder if was that intentional or was that literally just like the sound it makes when you breathe in those things. If so, then like Darth Vader just stole is like just he's got a weld like he's underwater. He's welding underwater. But so they end up kissing, and they both said they were having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So it just leaves it
went
there.
well according to both of them.
And then John B comes down, and he talks to Mercedes and Eliza. Mm-hmm. Will isn't even like worried. He's just like, no, I'm used. Yeah, everyone's talking. It's like Go
ahead.
Yeah,
he wants it at this point.
Yeah, he wants. Ultimately, he picks Eliza, and she also talks to Aaron B beforehand. But I didn't really understand fully her reasoning. I do understand her reasoning where she said like, you were talking to like Mercedes the first day or so and explored that, but like I've only been like talking and like focusing on you. And like last year I felt like I wasn't I don't know. She said she didn't want to make the same mistake as last year, but like I almost feel like going on a date with someone else is making the same mistake, because I told you about like again her situation last year where she had two guys that both liked her and she sort of wasn't choosing. Really, she wasn't
stuck in the middle.
Yeah, and so
jokers to the right of me, clowns to the left.
But like I don't see how like this is making a different decision than last year. Like
now she's just like putting herself and two people, it's like
you're potentially putting
relationships,
yourself
yeah.
in the same position again, where it's like, oh man, now I have to decide between two people. Where it's like, I understand her wanting to explore, and she kind of, feels like, well, Aaron's got to explore, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I personally don't view it as like doing things differently. I feel like it's actually doing things kind of the same.
repeating the same mistake.
But ultimately, I don't feel like it seemed like she had like a super
mattered.
great thing with John P. I mean, so if they went out to dinner, he asked her for a kiss. It was a little awkward, but not anything compared to, again, an upcoming
what
one.
happened, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like super like, oh man, like Aaron should be worried.
No, definitely not. It seems like it's probably one of the weakest dates that's happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was also just like so short. It was like it literally showed like a 5-second conversation. He asked her for a kiss, and then like that was it. It showed
Yeah,
like
you
nothing.
guys are done.
I mean, it focused more on like Aaron just being like so like freaked out and like upset and like worrying and stuff. But
Barely anything came
Yeah.
of it.
But then when Olivia and John Henry, I want to be able to just call him John.
John.
It's almost like exhausting. just
John
saying
A.
John H. No. Henry. Like when they get back, Olivia's very excited. She's talking to, was it Kylie or someone saying like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it
She's
was really
glowing.
good. I kissed it and everything. But she talks to Peter. Peter was fairly understanding, saying like, I realized that, could have been coming back, or you could be coming back, having formed like a stronger connection with me.
Or just
But-
talk to her.
Yeah, you could have had like a simple conversation, which is what more than what we've had. But I mean, he says like, "Oh, we can talk more later," and I'm just like, "Why don't you talk more now? Like, why do you have to wait?"
He thinks time is on his side.
Yeah, and like, she says like yes, and it's like she's conflicted now between Peter and John Henry. And then like when they do talk again, I think now is a fair time to get into it.
Yeah, no, this is the good part.
He brings up like, we haven't even kissed yet. And I was wondering like, can we do that now or something like that?
Can I do that after you've chosen some other guy?
And he like starts going in very, very slowly. And she's like, I don't know, like, and he says like, or one of them says like, do you want to? And they're like, I don't know.
And then she's like, are you sure this is the time?
Yeah, she says like, are you sure this is is this the right time? And he's like, I think so.
Yes.
And then he still doesn't do it though. And then she's like, well, then why don't you go in for it?
Yeah, she's like, go in and do it and see what happens.
And I wanted her to like pull away. Yeah, be like, no, it's not the right time. No, it was just
You
like,
waited too long.
It was so awkward because they were like so close, like face to face, like for probably like a good like 5 seconds before, like it was just like
Very strange.
it was like very much like secondhand like awkwardness for me. It was like, oh my gosh.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's hard to make me uncomfortable. I don't know. It was just awkward. It was just really awkward, and I was like, I don't think that was the right time.
No,
I'm sorry,
definitely
Peter.
not.
There's better timing for you that you could have chosen.
Like at the rose ceremony.
Yeah, or like after she breaks up with you.
Yeah, after you go home. Can I still have a relationship though?
Yeah, print out a picture of her and kiss that or something. I mean, who do you think that she's gonna pick? Because we don't know still. But do you have any predictions? Are you leaning one way or the other? Because I do, but it's kind of based off of
Spoilers.
yeah, or just like previews.
Yeah.
So.
Of Henry with
Yeah, John Henry.
John Henry III with Kat.
Yeah, I mean that was like one of the first previews for this season was like the opening shot of the preview is I think it was John Henry and pretty sure it was Kat like making out in the sand and like a wave comes up and smashes them. So I'm just like, Well, obviously John Henry has to stay. So if he doesn't get the rose from Olivia, who's he gonna get it from? And there's so many dudes down there. What they said by the end, it was like 12 and like seven girls or something. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, who else do you think he would get the rose from?
That's what I'm trying to think. Like, as far as the women, all the other ones are kind of in a relationship or, at least somewhat with someone that, like, it seems, I'm pretty confident that Elijah's going to stick with Aaron. And, John Beast, probably not. I don't know. He's not going to get it from
anyone.
Yeah, I mean, who could he get it from still? Like, I still think that Jess is probably going to go.
At the end, someone new coming down before the ceremony.
Yes,
so that could.
And we don't know who it is. They look to be a blonde because we saw like the bottom of their hair and maybe them walking from behind. But
so that could.
But yeah, there's so many people that are like going to be vying for that.
That one person.
Because it was like Sean, because Sean gets in. We still haven't even gotten to his stuff with Rachel, but Aaron S. Now that Sam is gone, Will, because I don't know. I kind of see Mercedes picking Tyler. I kind of forgot about Tyler. To be honest.
I know he was not in this episode. But I don't think at all.
But neither was Will. But
we saw him in the background.
Yeah, oh my god. Staring at Olivia as she's like talking to whoever about her date with.
Looking uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know though. That's a good question. What did you think about I think the only one at this point that they're making seem like for sure like solid couple is like Kylie and Avon. Because it showed them talking and Kylie was like, yeah, there's like no one that could come down. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm not interested in meeting anyone else. Like, what about you? And Avon's like, yeah, I don't think there's anyone else. Like, yeah, same, sure.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Okay. Yes. It's pretty fair.
Yeah, I mean, they're the one, like, they've been highlighted as pretty, just the fact that it seemed like they both really wanted to meet each other coming on to the show, so.
And they're able to have done that already so early.
Like so early on. What do you think about the truth box? Wells breaking out like the truth box.
The truth box.
Yeah, because that's definitely going to help out relationships.
I know. Everyone's going to just share helpful, kind thoughts.
Yeah.
In the box.
I like how that was sort of like what triggered like Sean to be like, this is my chance, this like to go after Jess, because even though I've been with Rachel and things have been good, she's really only been the one I've talked to, even though I kind of think that the conversation I had with Jess the first day was like better than the one I had with Rachel. I'm like, well, clearly it wasn't. Clearly.
I know.
She doesn't pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
But he goes and like grabs Jess, tries to like ask her like, how committed are you to Blake? Is there, are you open? And she's like, yeah, I love you as a friend.
Oh God, that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
I mean, the fact that she literally did say friend, but then like immediately noticed and she was like, oh, that probably sounded like didn't want to hear. She was trying to be nice, but it was also like, it was kind of like a moment where she probably should have been a little bit more assertive as far as like
what she wanted and not lead him on.
Yeah. Because I don't think that she's leading. I think that she did ultimately make it clear.
Right. But she had a hard time.
But like even when he said like, so you're saying like you are open, just not with me in this moment. And I was like, I mean, right now you just say like, yeah, I'm not open with you, period. Like that's harsh, but it's like
the truth. It answers his question.
Yeah.
It's not letting him think that she's still interested. She just should have just said like, me and you have a 1 in a million chance.
Yeah.
And then he goes, so you're
telling me there's a chance. That would be pretty classic if we did that. Yeah, I mean, I think there clearly isn't anything there. It doesn't seem like Jess is at all interested in Sean.
No, clearly not.
And I actually did find it kind of interesting how like Brayden, this was a pretty opportunistic like moment. He like, because right now he doesn't have anyone he's
Seeing
connected with, yeah. Because
he's a bachelor in paradise.
he is a bachelor in paradise. So he took that as like, this is my shot to go after Rachel. It definitely was a very like opportunistic thing. Whether you think it was kind of a snake move or like
Yeah,
it is a little bit like yeah, I don't know how to feel about it.
I feel like it was fair since Sean went after Jess.
That is true. That is
because
true.
of that. If that wasn't the case,
Because he probably wouldn't have told Rachel about it. Like Sean probably wouldn't have said it like to Rachel.
right?
But
Like, I tried to talk to a different girl that I wanted more, but it didn't work out. So
I was a little bit like confused about like about Rachel, like why she seemed more upset about like how Brayden said that like Sean was saying how much Rachel is into him, and she was like, when did I ever say that? I was like, I like him, but like when did I ever say like I was that into? I was like, that I don't know, that I personally don't know if that would be the part I'm like as upset about.
Yeah, I know it was strange that she found issue with people thinking that she liked Sean, which is pretty
More than
disgusting.
yeah,
anyway.
disgusting. How can you like Sean?
That's probably the worst insult.
No, I mean, I like Rachel.
but Brayden also said like that he's so confident that you wouldn't be with anyone else and that he has you or something like that. I think she was also pissed off about.
Right. And yeah, and so he feels like he can just do whatever he wants because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that there's like, but did Sean say that? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
I don't think on the show.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
in the
remember.
box.
Yeah, did he put anything in the box? Yeah, I don't really know what to think about that though, because it's like good move by Brayden. It ultimately seems to have really worked out.
It really did. He snaked his way in there.
Yeah, I mean it was a little.
I don't agree with the things he said, but the opportunity that he made for himself, I think
it was pretty good. I mean, just like, and then like when Sean talked to Brayden about it, like Brayden, he said that like he like went up like when she was talking to like Jess like after Sean, and I was like, I thought like he like laid down next to her like and like told Tyler to get, because she was like talking to Tyler,
right?
And he like laid down between them and like made Tyler leave. I don't remember Jess being there. I don't remember. It's all like clouded, but yeah, best way to put it is I think it's just very opportunistic. And it worked out.
It did work for him.
And Sean's freaking. He's pissed at Brayden. He's freaking out. He's like, "Oh, I got no one else." A little bit of bright side for. It seems Aaron B. Like when he talks to Eliza when she gets back from the date, she's the only one that so far has said like, "Yeah, no, I was actually thinking about you while on the date. I like missed you," and so it seems like.
Their connection is still strong.
Yeah.
She still chooses him.
He probably doesn't need to be as worried about some of the others as some of the others. But then, then the like truth box comes out and they're like reading some, and for some reason like that pisses Aaron S off in a classic Aaron S fashion. He just like hulks out and he's like, "Can I interrupt you? This is all surface level. We need to get down to like the important stuff. I need to go smash this fucking box right now." All right, read it. Wells like you just broke it. Yeah. You read it, dumbass. I bet Wells was actually probably like mildly annoyed in that
He
moment.
did say like, "Oh yeah, I just made that box."
Which I don't believe.
No.
I don't believe. But he was like, "You just smashed it. You can read it." and yeah, these are all surface level. All right, what's the first one you should read? Rachel and Brayden should be making. Wow, cool.
Whoa. You should kiss on the lips.
No, the like first like
it was all
like
against Kat.
It was like all of them were against like Kat. Just saying like she played Brayden. Tanner should be like watch out. and like there was one others too. And she was getting like pissed off.
Yeah.
And she's getting like mad at like Aaron.
I know who
I was
just like reading.
I mean, it seemed like he did have like an issue with her because like when they talked, like she sort of confronted him later on, and they were like arguing, and like when it ended, he was like, "Yeah, okay, like sure, go ahead and leave. You just confirmed everything I thought about you." It's like, okay, you did have an issue with her.
Yeah, there's definitely tension.
But she, like, yeah, no, like when he was reading it, she took it like as a personal offense, like from him. I was just like, you don't know that he wrote those. It would be funny if he did. And
he wrote them all.
He probably did.
Yeah, he definitely wrote one.
And yeah, what do you think about like like a second one about Brayden and Rachel making out came out? Do you think? I actually do think Brayden probably wrote those.
Yeah, he did admit to like writing at least one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so probably all.
Another good move. Another smart move.
Classic move. He did well.
He's willing it into existence. And yeah, and after that second one, he just pulled her, and she said like, okay, yeah, and they go and like they do end up making out and kissing, and then oh yeah, and then like Tanner and Kat have a conversation, and like Tanner says like, oh, it's hard not to like probably compare the start of our relationship to the start of yours and Brayden's. And so like I am a little bit worried that like the same thing could happen to me, and with everything that Brayden has said and like what people have been saying, it's like,
you're a rat.
Yeah, like, should I be worried? And she got like pissed off. She's like pissed off again. And that's when she goes and like starts screaming at Aaron. But she's just like, bro, she's losing it. She's crumbling.
I know. This is the downfall.
This is the downfall. It doesn't get any better next week. We saw like...
Oh, yeah, just horrible for her.
Yeah, I mean...
Everything taken away.
How does this one end? It ends with, Sean and Aaron S. being like, yeah, we both have no one. Aaron is like pissed off. This has been pissed off since Sam had to leave. And he's like, yeah, I'm going home. Sean's like, yeah, I'm probably going home too. Unless like a miracle happens. And yeah, and then it ends there, but we get a little bit of a teaser for next week. There is a woman coming down.
Taylor Swift comes down.
She's
ready to date Sean.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea who it could be. There's too many people in this Bachelor Nation universe.
She's a white girl with blonde hair.
That's only like 90% of the
that's only like
women in this universe. Bachelor universe. Yeah, I don't know. I think the only questions as far as like who's going to get a rose, aside from like the, since we don't know who's like coming next week or like who the mystery woman is going to be, the only like we know Avon and Kylie are probably a lock. I can see probably Jess and Blake still being together. I kind of want to think that Rachel's going to choose Brayden over Sean at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So who does that leave? I mean, I think Eliza's probably going to pick Aaron. I don't know that for sure, but I kind of feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that as well.
I feel like the big questions are going to be like
Will and Mercedes.
Yeah, who's Mercedes going to pick, and then who is Olivia going to pick? I don't know. Do you want FP to hang around, or do you want John Henry to hang around?
I want John Henry.
I kind of like John Henry. I like Will though too. Like I don't really care about Tyler, but I kind of feel like she's gonna pick Tyler, and I feel like Will's going home.
Yeah, I would want Will to stay though.
Yeah, I don't know. Will's been entertaining.
He has, unfortunately.
He's been kind of a mess too, though. So.
He's been screwed over too many times.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely not innocent though. He's done a little screwing as well.
He was playing as well.
He was playing around a little bit.
Playing with fire and got burnt.
Ooh, that's good. Was there anything else you want to cover as far as like any other trash left to pick up?
I'm ready for the gold.
I'm heading down to the mine right now.
I'm prospecting right now.
I've got my pickaxe ready. Okay, so Gerry. It starts out with the OG Bachelorette, Trista, coming in.
One Gerry on her mind.
Yeah. She's like, I'm coming in.
Hot.
None of you stand a chance. Gary's mine now. No, she comes in to sort of
Help and educate.
I guess sort of like give advice or something.
Right.
And she says like, "Oh, I'm gonna, be on the like co-hosting the group date." But then like when she starts giving advice, Teresa immediately does like cut in and be like, "You're so right. I have to just say, for my first date with Gerry, it was so mad." And then it just cuts to Kathy.
Kathy right next to her.
Like, shut up. And I will say, like, I don't think it's bad what Teresa's doing. I don't think it's malicious, but
no, that's just her like personality. She just likes to share, and
she definitely is a sharer. Yeah,
she'll let you know.
But it's like the fact that it seems to only be like it's only highlighting Kathy as being the one who's like bothered by it. I don't know. It's just like. It makes me. It just says like, okay, it seems to be more Kathy's issue than it is an issue with like Teresa because like
especially if no one else cares.
Yeah,
they're all just like fine with it.
Because they're all probably like, and we see later on like other people sharing and like saying, and like Kathy's then getting jealous of them. She doesn't, it seemed to like personally go after them as much, but it's, like when Susan gets that like the rose quartz later on. It showed Kathy, and she's like, it showed her being like super upset, and it made it seem like in that moment she finally became like more aware of like it's not just Teresa. Like she probably found it easy to place blame on Teresa because she did get the like first one-on-one date, but then just the fact that she's, other women. Aside from Teresa, and including like Susan, who hasn't had a date with her yet, is getting like really nice treatment. It's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe in that moment she kind of realized, I don't know, that like maybe it was her. It's I can't assume that, but I just want to assume like
hopefully.
The fact that she didn't go after Susan or Ellen or whatever, any of the other women
for doing the same thing that she was talking about. Right, but then she still did, yell at Teresa a lot.
Yeah. No, I mean,
she never let that go.
No. I mean, I liked that group date though. I thought that was fun. Cool. I wanted to be on it, dude. And they were playing hard, bro.
They're going crazy.
They were going like, and I like their like names. They're like
Picklelicious Paddles.
Picklelicious Paddles. Bitchin' Kitchen. I like that one. That was cool. And this was like an example though of like the end result of the like group or like the winner or whatever. They don't get any like special treatment. They get a photo for a magazine, but they don't get
for
any.
Pickle Weekly.
But like last week, when like Joan was the standout of the talent show, she gets like a pretty much full like one-on-one afterward. Yeah. That's like that's one you want to win.
Mm-hmm. Good
Otherwise,
prize.
like it doesn't really matter.
If Gary's not the prize, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's true. That if not Gerry, at least give me a pickle.
It did show like a nice trophy. I wonder if they actually did get that.
No, probably not. Dude, this
like we have to return it after.
This date actually did give me like anxiety though. First, I want to put shout out to like they brought Joey on. First of all, good choice. I love Joey.
That is good.
It was very cool to see him.
Very cool.
This was his element, although he's tennis. Right now. Okay.
I'm sure he pickles it a little bit.
He does probably pickle a little bit. But like when they're doing the like practice at first, I was like, oh, this is like really sweet because it's like, it's clear like Ellen is the only one that I think it's shown that or says that has like experience with her being the like co-captain of like a pickleball team. I was like, that's pretty epic.
It's pretty cool.
But then there's like some that are clearly like out of their element, like Susan struggling, April struggling, but like I got legitimately scared when like April was like running back and then she tripped and fell And then like immediately everyone rushed around. I was like, oh shit,
Oh
dude.
no. There goes the hip or the ankle.
And she immediately says like, I think I broke my ankle. I was like, oh my fucking God, dude. And like Gerry sits down with her. And it was very funny too, because like the other women were like, oh, I hope she's okay, but I noticed that she got extra time with him. And then it does like,
Show
cut to
Gerry.
like, Gary's like comforting her, and just classic Gerry fashion. But then April literally immediately does say afterwards in an interview, I'm totally fine. I'm like,
Nice.
good move.
That was
Good
good.
move. I don't think the tournament was like all that much of a surprise.
Who would win?
As who's when like, Ellen, again, the only one that is like, pickleball is their like,
Their main thing.
her thing.
Yeah. That's what she put down on their
her like little like title
right.
type
Yeah,
thing.
as her job, I think. Professional pickler.
She was teammates with Kathy. They won. They both got a kiss as well for winning. I found the after the date to be more endearing, because it started off strong with that too, with like Sandra, because it brought up Sandra again. Like literally that day, she was like missing out on her daughter's wedding.
Yeah,
I'm like,
pretty
dude,
wild. Damn.
But Gerry, good move again. He was like, I think we owe him a call.
Film a little
And like FaceTime, and it's like fourth time's the charm as far as like which button to press.
Accidentally texting her.
Yeah, why did I just email him? No, that was cute though. I thought that was really sweet.
That was really good. Good job on Gerry.
Yeah, it was good. Mike Gerry. Oh yeah, what did you think about like then Teresa and Kathy talking again? Because Teresa going into it, she's like, last week I was very upset and I had no idea I was making Kathy feel that way, but it's all water under the bridge. At this point, she made it seem like they were cool, and so I was like, they probably talked about it more, or it's like
Resolve
whatever. And then like they go into it and like just no immediately.
Right.
Kathy was like, like what you said last week. She immediately brought up the rose ceremony, like when you said you came up to your bedroom. Like I don't want to hear about that.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell me.
Anytime you talk to Gerry.
And it started out like somewhat like civil, because she wasn't like talking over Teresa all that much at first, and she just said like, that is the stuff that made me feel like hurt. I don't remember the exact words she said, but in my mind it's just synonyms for jealous and insecure. But she's probably not gonna say
protecting. And then Teresa does kind of like fight back, saying that she doesn't think she's being malicious, or that's not her intent at all.
Yeah,
she's
no.
just
I mean,
sharing.
she apologized, but she's like, but I don't believe I wasn't being malicious. I wasn't trying to like do that to you. So like I was just like talking. And then Kathy was like, well, it's stuff that just you shouldn't talk about. You can't talk about, or at least not with me. And so just when she said like her final line is just zip it, I was like,
zip it.
It's cold.
Damn.
Oh, I actually, another part of that conversation though was like, Kathy tried to say to like Teresa, she's like, all right, hypothetically, like what if like I told you that Gerry told me that we are in love, he's choosing me or whatever, and you're gonna go home tomorrow. And Teresa was like, okay. Like,
That'd be fine, I guess.
Like I have to be open, like I'm open-minded to this. And Kathy didn't like that answer, because she's like,
that's not the answer I wanted you to say.
It's like no.
No. Because she'd be pissed if she heard that.
Yeah, she would be pissed. It's sad because it's like, is that really how like Kathy's feeling? Because it's not the same thing. Like Teresa isn't saying like,
go home.
You know, like Gerry is like choosing me.
Yeah.
You're gonna go home tomorrow. She's just saying like, no, we had a good time together.
Yeah, she's filling in the blank.
Yeah, exactly. Kathy is like filling in the blanks, and I feel like it's just unfair. And then yeah, to kind of be just a bit mean about it, and be like, zip it.
I know at the end, yeah. At least Gerry though, he comes in.
Yeah, I mean he comes in and he talks to Teresa first, and she even says like, yeah, I thought we were cool because like me and Kathy had been talking since the first day. Like I thought we were close. I didn't realize that
she was feeling all this, right?
She was feeling this way, or that I was hurting like her. And yeah, I mean, she was very surprised by it, but Gerry, I don't know, he didn't really take sides too much, but he did end up pushing back on Kathy a bit, because then when he talked with her, she said like, I'm upset with like Teresa's just saying like how good her connection is, and how like you went up and comforted her in the bedroom and like gave her that support. And then Gerry was like, yeah, but I gave you that special like comfort and treatment as well. Like I gave you that rose.
Yeah. So it should be equal.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Or she should feel better. Like she got the better end of it.
Yeah. And it was like that is like how, but then he also didn't like how, he brought up how like she said like, the zip it comment.
Oh yeah, that.
It's like that is very like, you're shutting someone down.
Mm-hmm. And no one should be talked to that way.
He didn't like how like there's this issue, and yeah, again, I like the way that Gerry handled it, because he was kind of trying to. It still felt like he was trying to like give Kathy the benefit of the doubt a little bit, or like trying to see her side and just be like, what's the deal?
What's going on?
But I more so appreciate how, despite all of that, the group date rose went to Sandra. He was like, I'm not gonna. He basically was like, he didn't reward any of that drama, and he was just like, I had a really good moment with Sandra. That's what I'm gonna reward. I was like, yes,
that's fair.
Good move. Good move.
Not getting in the middle of it.
And then Leslie's one-on-one. That also looked like a really fun date.
That was really cool. 4-wheeling like a desert.
Very
cool.
Again, another one that made me like nervous. At first I wasn't nervous, but then like when Leslie was saying like how nervous she was, I was like, ooh, yeah, operating like ATV like for the first time
off-road,
yeah, can be like intimidating, but like especially if you are nervous about it, that can like, it makes you a nervous driver. I mean, and it's like being a nervous driver anywhere can be like, there's a difference between cautious and like nervous, and
right?
It's like,
no, definitely.
It did make me like, yeah, because like there has been like I feel like a past season like where like there was like a ATV date, and like they ended up flipping the ATVs.
Wow.
I want to say that was Matt James' season of The Bachelor. Shout out Matt James' mom, who was on the Golden Bachelor, got eliminated night one. What's the deal?
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, just like with that, I still remember that, and everyone ended up being fine. I don't think it was really even like that big of a deal. I don't think either of them were even remotely hurt, but nice. It's just like it just showed like, yeah, it's totally like possible they could easily flip those. Flip those. And I thought it was sweet when he like pulled over and like let her go first, let her control the pace and the speed, and I was like,
that was good.
Another good move, Gerry.
Good job, Gerry, being the responsible one.
What do you think of the little mini Never Have I Ever segment?
That's pretty classic.
How many times did you eat your ice cream?
I don't think I had any ice cream.
Too innocent.
Too innocent.
Yeah, no. Who like it was April.
April.
And like
She
almost
ate the whole
everyone.
ate ice cream.
Susan was the only one that ate like when it was like, oh, have you ever been with a woman? Shout out Susan.
Good job, Susan.
Yeah.
Have you ever kissed another like married woman's husband?
Yeah. Did anyone?
Yeah.
Was that April? I think
it was April.
Okay.
Classic
Nice.
April.
Sex in the Workplace.
April.
And Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra's like,
whoa.
Me and my husband did it everywhere, and if he was still with it, I'd do it again. I'm like, yes,
Hell
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then like in the back of a car, and April's like, yeah, everywhere in the car, even the steering wheel. It's like, all right.
While
Pretty
driving,
epic.
hell yeah.
That was that was funny.
On an ATV. They should have asked that.
Leslie comes back, eats her ice cream. No,
Catherine gets pissed.
Kathy's like pissed. She can't handle it. I thought Leslie's conversation with Gerry was also like another really good one because she's like the first one where her backstory isn't, she hasn't lost a husband. She's been divorced twice, was a single mother at one point. She now has like multiple kids, and she felt like she was on her own for such a long point in time, and now it's like she has her kids who are there for her, but as far as like relationships, she said basically single for 22 years.
Whoa.
I'll beat that. I can beat that record. Just watch me now.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, is that a challenge, Leslie? I can take that crown from you. No, but I mean, she said she would have left at this point if it was basically anyone other than Gerry because of just like,
not being confident
and
in herself and finding other people.
I brought this up. This is another criticism for the people on Paradise. When you say someone checks all of those boxes, you got to be able to name them.
Name every box.
Name them.
I want to know.
Leslie named them, or
that
like a lot of these women named them. She's even if they're just simple stuff like you're kind, you're compassionate, you're caring. It's like very basic, but it's like why don't any of the people on Paradise name the boxes? It's like why are you afraid to give these compliments? Or are you just not thinking of it? You're too lazy to think like, what do I like about this one? What do I like about this one? I don't fucking know.
Just gotta see a vibe. That's it.
We have a good vibe. What does that mean?
What is the vibe?
What is the vibe?
What is the vibration set to between you two?
I thought this was I actually really liked the hot tub in this date. It's a classic bachelorette like staple, used on many dates. But I was a little bit curious, like, are we gonna get a golden hot tub? We did.
We did.
And
it was confirmed. Beautiful. It was good. It was hot.
It was very hot.
They did kiss or make out.
They made out in the hot tub. She gets a rose. It was great moment.
Very good.
Yeah, and then we get to the cocktail party. Oh, I like how it just glanced over two things with Nancy. First being, she's in a fucking cast or something.
Oh yeah, I know.
She said I got a stress fracture from playing pickleball.
Geez.
And she wasn't even the one that fell. That was April.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? Like, whoa.
What happened? Is she okay? And then she left.
Yeah, no, and that was the other thing. She was one of the sit downs that it sort of showed, and she said it's clear you're sort of narrowing down your group of to who you can really see yourself being with, and I feel like I'm not in that group. And Gerry is just like, this is what Jess. There's a little bit of criticism for Jess. you know, and her, she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna dispute that.
That was perfect.
It was. I don't feel like he was mean in that moment.
No,
he was
he's
just
honest.
very honest. I'm just giving Jess a hard time. I think
Right.
Jess is fine.
She's off the hook for now.
Yeah, she's off the hook for now. Remains to be seen as far as what, you know, she can. I feel like Jess isn't going to be any cause for trouble. Famous last words.
Yeah.
We'll see though. I'd like to see Jess getting
She's
a pickle.
Avon.
Yeah, she's stealing Avon. Or no, she's stealing Tanner from Cat.
Yes.
Drive Cat even crazier. Oh, that was the other comment. It was like, I think Cat intentionally did Jess wrong or whatever. It was like, okay, back away from get out of the trash, bro. Stop. You're getting your hands dirty right now. Go wash them before you come back.
We need a clean and sanitized place for Gerry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought like that was again actually I felt like an endearing moment because he was still very emotional sending her home.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
even
was
though
like,
she walked out.
Yeah.
He found it really hard.
He had a lot of like good moments. Again, like his sit down with Susan where he gave her the quartz, you know, saying like, oh, this, you know, that symbolizes strength and empathy. Like you're probably two things I really see in you. Really reminds me of my former wife.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
something he's only found in her, and that's like specific emotion.
Do you think it's an okay, like, to keep making comparisons to your wife? To hit like, again, I'm not in that position. I don't ever want to be in that position.
I feel like they
understand.
People, the people seem to find it endearing that he's relating them to like his most like beloved person in his life.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And that's probably how he means for it to come across.
Yeah, like he's comparing them to like the best person.
Right.
He could.
Right. Yeah, I'm probably just getting too much in my head where I'm like, if I was one of the women, even though it's a compliment, would I take it as like, well, I don't really want to keep being compared to someone. But no, that's nah.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. You want to be your own person.
Yeah. But you're right that it's like, to him, at least, it's probably like the ultimate compliment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I know, like, there's no one better he could compare you to.
I think it's.
Except for Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Our Lord and Savior.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, but when Kathy found out about that, she was. I think that was like, that was like a turning point where she was like absolutely kind of crumbling at that point. And that's when she started saying, like, it's clear to see a lot of the women around here are forming connections with him that I don't have.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like Teresa, and so.
Just all the other women but her.
Yeah. We did get the first I'm falling in love with you.
Yes.
From Ellen.
Ellen drops the 4 little words.
Yeah. Falling in love with you. That really seemed to like strike a chord with Gerry. And he didn't say it back fully.
He said, oh, really?
But he's like, oh, really?
No, I forget what he did say.
He did say, you know, I feel like I'm in that same place or something.
Okay.
I'm in the same place, which
that is a good response.
It's not exactly saying it, but
right.
It is some validation, I feel like. And yeah, I mean, Ellen ended up being the first rose he gave out in the rose ceremony. To me, the biggest like mystery right now is, I think, about faith. I am a little bit, dare I say, concerned.
I know. I've seen like barely
I'm
any of her.
losing my faith.
I know.
Well, yeah, it's like she had the strongest showing the first night and rightfully got the first impression rose. Since then, barely anything. Like there's been some small like little conversations highlighted, which are sweet, but they're like, she hasn't gotten a date. She hasn't gotten like any group date roses or anything like that. And so I am like curious, like,
is she gonna be okay?
is she still like a
Top contender
as of right now? I mean, what do you think? We are 1 week away from hometowns with only 5 women left, which if this is gonna be like a standard Bachelor Bachelorette, there's 4 people that go to hometowns, and then 3 for Fantasy Suite, and then final 2. But is it gonna go like, just because there's typically 6 people left in this position, so like a week away from hometowns, there's typically still at least like 6 left, and so like 2 get eliminated before hometowns. But like,
right, would 2 get eliminated and have 3 for hometown?
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is it gonna be like, does that mean only one person's gonna get eliminated next week, or is it gonna be like 2? Yeah, I'm not sure.
That'll be interesting. I wonder who will be next out.
Well, what do you think? If it's 4 for hometowns, who do you think's getting eliminated next week? Because we have Ellen, Faith, Susan, Teresa, and Leslie left.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
I feel like there's 2 that kind of, at this point, are kind of like on the outside.
Faith and Susan.
Yeah. Well, wait. Oh, wait, no, there is still 6. We're forgetting about Sandra. Okay, so wait. Okay, our math is just wrong. So there is 6 left. So
right, yeah.
So that probably means 2 are getting eliminated next week. But that does, so yeah, to me, there's 3 that are like kind of on the outside right now. Because Ellen's gotten a date, Teresa's gotten a date, Leslie's gotten a date. Faith got the first impression rose. Sandra got the group date rose. But like at this point, how do those compare to like, actual dates? It's like,
I know,
not really,
not as powerful.
And then Susan doesn't have anything. If I were to pick one that I feel like is going home, I don't know. I guess Susan. I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Susan, Sandra.
It's just like one of her, Susan, and Faith like need to get like a one-on-one date.
Right, yeah, they need to get some time.
But with that said, I bet at least one of them does, and if more than one of them does, I bet one of them gets eliminated on the like one-on-one date, like sent home, like doesn't get a rose.
Wow.
Because that's a classic move as well. And
right.
I don't know. I'm still really liking Teresa still, despite all the like drama with her and Kathy. I really like Ellen as well.
Yeah,
I really like Leslie. I like them all. Honestly, I really like good.
Susan.
Sandra and Susan have all been like a really fun time.
They've all been great.
I couldn't choose.
It would be really tough now. Good luck, Gerry.
Yeah, good luck. I'm confident he can make it through it.
Make the right choice.
Yeah. He seems like, I don't know if this preview is for all like next week or, if, just the rest of the season, but it showed his breakdown again where he's like, I'm in love with multiple people. This is like not worth it. Like, this is only like the second most like painful thing I've ever been through, but it's pretty goddamn close. So
yeah, pretty wild.
I don't know. I'm not envying Gerry right now, but I'm rooting for him.
I know.
I'm going hard for Gerry. Sounded a little weird, but I don't take it back.
Hashtag hard for Gerry.
Hashtag hard for Gerry.
We're rooting for him.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
There's a lot, but we don't have time for that.
There's never enough time. Yet again, closer to Halloween, watch some scary movies or something.
Like Bachelor in Paradise.
Like Bachelor in Paradise, yeah. Horror show. We'll be back. We'll cover everything. Everything that needs to be covered will be covered.
All the important things.
All the important things.
All of them.
Just all of them. We don't miss anything that matters.
No. Never do.
This is Jaime.
This is Vic.
And this is like,
Literally.
we are literally about to sign off.
Oh, yeah. Is this thing on? Yeah. Yeah.